Hey guys, I hope you're excited. Today I'm taking you guys behind the scenes on an outdoor food photo shoot. Let's pack up the big flash and go make $100 an hour.
All right, how's it going, guys? So essentially what we're doing today is we'll be shooting a menu for a fish and chip restaurant. I just thought I'd bring you along because it's gonna be on the water here in Victoria. There is a place called Fisherman's Wharf. It has a whole bunch of little restaurants and homes that are on the water. So we're gonna go explore that, look at that. Hopefully I'll get some B-roll for you guys so you guys can just be looking at that right now. What we're doing today, we're just gonna be using a 600 watt light to see if we can overpower the sun, using, again, my favorite medium intensity reflector, and hopefully get a little bit more output out of that 600 into something closer to a 800 watt light. Just show you what it's like to set up, shoot, and deliver photos in under 3 hours, because that's all we're doing today.
Now, I fully intended to cast a shadow on the plates and use my flash to fill in the highlight where I wanted it. I had a scrim with me and extra stands to hold it all up. But this restaurant had a large tent that gave me ample amount of shade to each table. I was fully expecting those little, those little parasol umbrellas that are always broken and not shading the right spot. But I did get lucky with this one and saved myself a backache. We even gave away some of the untouched food to the patrons. Props to Ian for being a really cool owner. That was really sweet of him. I figured this would be a great opportunity to show you what it's like to create for other people. A day in the life of a commercial photographer, if you will. But by no means is this every day. I would say shoots like this fill in like the slow periods between larger shoots. But as a photographer, your main goal is just to keep doing it. Sure, I know you can go a different route and work a really solid, cushy job that affords you the ability to being very selective with your clientele as a photographer, but I know the corporate life and the corporate schedule, and it just doesn't fit right in my mind. I can't do it. I've tried, but nothing seems to quite piece my mind like the schedule and the lifestyle of being a full-time commercial photographer. Even if that means not every shoot is for free to lay. One day though.
I think a shoot like this is a little bit more accessible to everyone else as well. It's not, the big fancy 3-day shoots with, the big recognizable brands, but this is a local restaurant shoot for their menu. Go in, get out, deliver, all within 3 hours. And I think a whole lot of you guys can really benefit from seeing what it's like to do a shoot like this and how basically pretty simple it is if you have your lighting system worked out. No matter where you are, what the conditions are, you're gonna be able to create good content. You just need to worry about getting those clients. So if you can get 2 clients a week, even if you're charging only a couple $100, that's that much more than you didn't have. So if you can get it out in 3 hours and move on. I think a lot about being a photographer is just doing it over and over again. And if a small job helps you stay afloat for an extra 2 weeks, then take it. Don't be too greedy about it, you know what I mean?
Find the rate that the local restaurants in your area are willing to pay, and don't be greedy. Just get in there, and it's more important to have more shoots under your belt than it is to not be working and just pretending that you know what you're doing. You want to be able to get 1% better 100 times throughout the year rather than trying to put all your eggs into one basket and shooting once or twice a year. So shoot often, and you will get incrementally better throughout. Quality comes from quantity, so don't be afraid of it. I've been working for 10 years, shooting everything that came my way. I've finally settled myself into a bit more of a niche, and I've only gotten busier the more I niche down. I'm not saying that that's for everyone, but that is my experience here on this journey. People want to fit you in a box, so find a box that fits you and hermit crab your ass in there. Full disclosure, full honesty, I did have a regular non-photography style job for about 6 months during the pandemic, but it just reinforced everything inside me to be like, this is exactly what you don't want to be doing. So stop being lazy with your photography and work at least this hard. This is a job. This is honest living. And you want to make your career out of a hobby. Well, work for it then. Don't just wait for stuff to come to you. At least that's what I needed to hear. And since then, I've only been more proactive about booking and finding more clients. And I think that only came because I hyper-focused on what I wanted to shoot by knowing exactly what I didn't like to shoot. I understand I wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, and I just leaned into that rather than trying to tiptoe around it all. I needed to figure out what I like to shoot, what works for my style and my psyche. I realized that no matter how perfect and meticulous the lighting on my portraits might be, if I can't extract the right emotion from my client, then the whole portrait's a failure. It doesn't matter how technical your image is, if the person looks awkward, the image sucks. So I took a hard look at my portrait work and realized what I excelled in and what I didn't. I'm an awkward person. I don't have that fluidity to strike up conversation with anyone at any time. It's just not my strong suit. And I know that that comes super natural to others. So I just leaned into what I think is more natural to me, which is micromanaging every single pixel on an image until it looks the way I want it to. When you're dealing with people and emotions and how they slept last night or who they argued with this morning, you have to go with the flow and you have to be content with the spontaneity. I don't like spontaneity, at least not in my portraits. The most spontaneity that I get is shooting with splashes and not really knowing what I'm gonna get. But that's about the extent of it. Anyway, back to this shoot.
The restaurant in question is called Barb's. They are floating on the water. You see here on the right side, you see my C-stand. It's got the AD600 Pro, beamed as very much as high as I could to try to give a little bit more of a midday sun look. And I was just kind of taking every plate over from the other table and just kind of bringing them onto into the scene and photographing them one by one. The owner here wanted to utilize the blue tray. He says it's very synonymous with their branding, so I just kind of kept that consistent and shot that. Even here with the group shot, I kind of kept it in the middle and built a scene around everything and just kind of shot from up above and created something kind of like this over here.
Always get a lunch. Definitely the best part about this job. Oh, that is some fatty beef. I've never not been fed lunch, so I try not to expect it, but you know.
I think my favorite lunch, or takeaway as you will, was probably from this boutique donut joint. I'll see if I can find a little BTS reel for you guys here. Oh, I did a similar shoot for a ready-made sandwiches department of a grocery store, and that was pretty fantastic too. Again, I don't plan to get any food, but if it's handled, the company just can't sell it again. Sometimes their employees get lunches, or I'll give away the food I receive to some of the shelters in my neighborhood. But when you're given a handmade burger blend, hot off the grill, or, well, lukewarm off the grill,
Let's eat this thing!
Any Brian Lagerstrom fans? Now quickly, let's just go through these photos together and break down why I thought this lighting works for the main point of this shoot: consistency. I needed to be able to get in and out in an hour, right? So I can't be moving and adjusting my lights for every product. I need to set it and forget it, baby. A nice faraway light source like this allows me to create an even spread of light across my scene, and I'm just using the ambient light to fill in the background at about minus 0.5 EV, less than a stop. But the food is still the brightest part of the image. I also had a reflector card just bouncing a bit of light back into those shadows to create a slight HDR effect. The restaurant is on the water. It moves, it rocks back and forth, it only offers outdoor seating, so they wanted a bright, sunny summer refresh to their images for the summer. I used that to think of the lighting I wanted to use, and I know that for a menu photo shoot like this, I just want to try to get one shot of each image, maybe a group shot of everything, or at least most of the things. So to have the lighting be consistent all throughout is really important. And then I just keep my camera on a tripod and shoot every item group by size. That way, my camera only moves when it has to, and hopefully the lighting never has to change. Go work on a system that works for you. Hell, copy this lighting if you want, and just go out and market yourself to every single restaurant in your area. It's a great way to have supplementary income coming in while still being in line with booking larger and larger clients within this field. I really like making this kind of video for you guys. Let me know if you found any use and insight from it. I'd love to make more. I definitely do a lot of these kinds of shoots, so please let me know. If you need more of this mug, check out this video right here, because the algorithm thinks that that's what you'd like best. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.